Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pointless Top 10, a show where we make top 10 lists of the pointless things. Why are we flying by this pointless statue in Booty Bay? Because inside pointless things are treasure. Let's begin. 10. Number 10 is Floyd Pincus, and Floyd Pincus is a forsaken innkeeper located at Thrallmar in the Hellfire Peninsula. And I'm sure you probably figured this out, but Floyd Pincus is a reference to the band Pink Floyd. And if you talk to Floyd Pincus, he says, "I deal in comfort, soothe your savage impulse. My inn is your home." And I do think it's funny that your responses can be like, fine offer, Floyd. I wish to make Hellfire my home. Like, normally it's just like, make this in your home, right? But one thing I learned that I never knew is that the beginning of the Pink Floyd's song "Shine On You Crazy Diamond" is the background music in many areas of Hellfire Peninsula. And I was somebody that was never really that into Pink Floyd music. Like, I've heard songs from Pink Floyd and everything, right? And I don't dislike Pink Floyd. It's just I was always listening to other stuff. So when I went and actually listened to the song, I was like, dude, that actually is Hellfire Peninsula music. It kind of blew my mind. But I know a lot of people love Pink Floyd, and I'm sure there's plenty of people that have Floyd Pincus as number 1 on their top 10 list of innkeepers. But you know what? He made the list at number 10, so that's why Floyd Pincus is number 10. 9. Number 9 is Gerties the Drowsy, and Gerties is a night elf innkeeper located at the Wily Wisp Den on top of Sabermaw Bluff in Val'Sharah. And one of the reasons I love Gerties is this house is just a mess. And if you talk to Gerties, they say, "I am not a morning person." So I don't know if Gerties just woke up, was like, just started slashing and bashing everything all around. But then you also have Cakely, who is probably his wife or something, and she's a general goods vendor just chilling out on the bed. And I think one of the reasons I love this so much is it just feels like these random druids turn their house into an inn. They're just like, it'd be fun. We just made this into a tavern. That'd be pretty cool. Now, I don't know the legal aspects of this. I don't know if you need a license. You got a license to become a tavern. But there's actually another cool fact, which is his on-click voice lines are that of the Warcraft 3 Druid of the Claw unit. So maybe this is also a little Warcraft 3 reference or something. This was during Legion, where they were doing a lot of nostalgic stuff. But either way, I think Gerties the Drowsy is pretty cool. And so that's why they're number 9. 8. Number 8 is Uda the Beast, and Uda the Beast is a Magar Orc innkeeper for the Filthy Animal Inn located in Dalaran. And Uda the Beast is probably the toughest innkeeper around. She says, "You, come, drink, feast, rest for the next battle. But do not fight, or I will feed you to my wolves." And you know what? She's not joking. There's a quest in the game where her wolves are just eating people. Specifically during the Purge of Dalaran, where Uda and her wolves were held captive by the Silver Covenant in her inn. But she seems to have put up a good fight because her wolves Nargut and Ruka are feasting on the Silver Covenant corpses before her when you walk in. And so yeah, Uda the Beast does not play around. She's got her wolves ready to kill. She looks like she's ready to kill as well. And you know what? I think her name is supposed to be like Uda Best. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw that name at like a quick glance. I was like, wait, is that Uda Best? And I was like, oh, Uda the Beast. Either way, Uda the Beast is number 8. 7. Number 7 is Lard, and Lard is an ogre innkeeper located in Reventusk Village in the Hinterlands. And this is one of my favorite classic WoW quests because it's just so goofy. So you talk to Lard and he's like, "Lard was at secret special spot having picnic when ugly mean Vilebranch hit Lard with the big stick. Lard run back to Reventusk but forget Lard lunch. Lard hungry. Maybe you go back to secret special spot and get Lard lunch. Lard scared. Go Nort. Island dared to the north is the secret special spot." And so you go and you get Lard's lunch. It is on a random island, and you loot it and you get attacked by some trolls, and then you bring it back to Lard and he says, "This hit the spot. Thanks, little one. Lard make you a special picnic basket for help, Lard." And according to the Warcraft wiki, there is speculation that Lard may have been part of the old Horde army that invaded the Hinterlands during the Second War, explaining why he is affiliated with a forest troll tribe. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I like Lard. I think he's a good guy. I always remember doing his quest, and so that's why Lard is number 7. 6. Number 6 is Ronka, and Ronka is the innkeeper at the Gold Tusk Inn in Vol'dun. And so a lot of people keep saying Ronka is insane. They're like, this guy's crazy, this guy's, out of his mind, and he is a little insane, but you play through the story where Ronka is at the inn. He's like talking to a bunch of troll skulls, and you're just like, dude, what is this guy doing? Who's he talking to? It's like he's talking to himself or imaginary friends. But then they get attacked by Sand Fury trolls, and you help him out with that. You help get rid of the Sand Fury trolls. And so he's like, yo, hey, thanks for helping me out. You know what? I'm going to introduce you to the gang. And you're just like, wait, what? I get to meet his imaginary friends? But then you drink some crazy potion concoction he makes, and you can actually see all of his troll friends, and they're like real. Well, At least I think they're real. You can see them, they're ghosts, but I don't know if they're real or not, to be honest. Also, Ronka is wearing a hat made out of bananas, so that adds a whole nother layer. I can't think of anybody else that wears a hat of bananas in the game, although there might be, who knows. But anyway, Ronka is pretty crazy. He's got a fun quest line. He's got a lot of cool imaginary but real friends, and that's why it's number 6. 5. Number 5 is a weird one, and it is the Arcane Guest Registry, which is a flying tome that serves as the innkeeper for Schnotz Hostel at Schnotz Landing in Uldum. And I had to put this one on the list because, I mean, come on, it's literally a book. It's a floating book that is an innkeeper at a really random spot. Even somebody on Wowhead was like, I find it rather odd that you can make your home in a town where everybody wants to kill you. And on top of that, you actually don't get any rest experience for staying here. So the only real benefit is like if you're questing in this area and you just wanted to set your Hearthstone here to get back here faster, that's literally it. And so yeah, I had to put the Arcane Guest Registry on this list because it is really one of the most unique innkeepers in the game, even if it is just a floating book, which is why it's absolutely perfect for Pointless Top 10, where I try to find just some of the most off, weird things in the game, and that's usually what I enjoy finding. So that's why the Arcane Registry is number 5. 4. Number 4 is Furno, and Furno is a fire elemental innkeeper located at the Inn of Camp Murrock in south central Ringing Deeps. And if you talk to him, he says, Tas Grinko, Tas Grin Turothko Grin, which is part of the Kalimag language, which, by the way, Kalimag is the standard language spoken by elementals. And another little funny thing I saw is when it actually says to make this in your home, it says make this in your home. But I really like that Furno is just kind of chilling in this big pool of lava or a forge. I don't know what it is, but whatever, he's having fun swimming around in it. It's like his own personal pool. And not only that, but he's right next to Shoe Duck. That's right, the Shoe Duck, the duck with shoes. And if you talk to Clive Del Gizmo, he says, welcome to Del Gizmo's. Need any snacks for the road? And you can say, what's with the stuffed duck wearing shoes? And he's like, Shoe Duck is not for sale. And you could be like, where did you get the shoes? And he's like, Shoe Duck is not for sale, all right? Which I completely understand. I wouldn't want to sell Shoe Duck either. And so this entire little atmosphere is great with Shoe Duck and Furno and Clive. It's just, what a great little spot. And so that's why Furno is number 4. 3. Number 3 is Daisy, and Daisy is the innkeeper and bartender in the Speed Barge Bar on Fizzle and Pozic Speed Barge. And you probably remember Daisy from back in Classic WoW in the Shimmering Flats, where she was the race girl that would always start the race, and then the goblin and the gnome would race around the Mirage Raceway, which, by the way, if they ever rebuild Thousand Needles or Old Azeroth, I would love if they brought back the Mirage Raceway and you could like watch the race and maybe you could bet on races and you'd be like, oh, the race is happening. And I don't know, I just always like the Mirage Raceway, and it seems like it would be a fun little thing to include into the game at some point again, but that's besides the point. Daisy is actually named after Daisy Dukes. She's also wearing a pair of Daisy Dukes. Also, when you talk to her, she says, hi there, gorgeous, welcome to the Speed Barge Bar. What'll it be? But she also talks like she's in The Sims, like she genuinely talks like a Sims 3 character. And I didn't even realize that till now, that a lot of the WoW humans just look like Sims characters. And yeah, you can buy numerous different types of drinks from Daisy, and it's got to be terrible to work at this place. In fact, I covered this in Pointless Top 10 Taverns in World of Warcraft, and bar fights will break out all the time, so props to Daisy, because I guarantee she is probably losing her mind being a bartender here. And that's why she's number 3. 2. Number 2 is Old Lula, and Old Lula is the innkeeper at Twilight Glade in Shadowmoon Valley. And Old Lula appears to have quite the obsession with frogs. In fact, the only thing she sells is gently squeezed toads. And the description of the toad is, the toad looks frazzled, but unharmed. And so there's a lot of different theories I've seen as to why Old Lula is like this. She does have a quest talking about how her husband and her went fishing in the marsh and fell asleep, and when she woke up, he'd been turned into a toad. Which then he comes back and is like, hey, I'm back. And she's like, I don't know if it's actually you. Which is like, is she just crazy? Or like, is he even real? I don't know if he's real at this point. And also, there actually is a Hypnotoad nearby who is in Pointless Top 10 Frogs, and it's possible maybe she got hypnotized by the Hypnotoad, so now she just really loves frogs. In fact, she definitely did, because if you talk to her, she says, the others don't believe me, but I have seen him, the Great One. Once you fall under his gaze, you will never be the same again. The other theory I saw is that people see that she loves licking toads and kissing toads, so maybe she's just getting really high off these frogs, and that's why she wants so many frogs, so she like licks them and squeezes them and then gets the juice out of him or something, and then she just lets him go. That's why they're gently squeezed. And I mean, if you have any theories on old Lula, comment down in the comments section, because I'd love to hear them. But otherwise, she's just a really unique, interesting innkeeper and NPC, and that's why old Lula is number 2. And number 1 is Keepers the Rat, and Keepers the Rat is located at Breaker's Crown, which is a neutral camp in Gorgrond, and Rexar and his companions are located here, and 3 of his deceased animals are actually buried here. And so I think it's pretty obvious why Keepers the Rat is number 1, and that's because he's a rat and he's an innkeeper. And that's it. I mean, what more do you need? He's literally just a rat innkeeper. It's amazing. I did actually talk about this in Pointless Top 10 Rats, though, because he was on that list as well, which is, was his name always Keepers, or did Rexar name him Keepers because he made him the innkeeper? Because at some point, Rexar had to be like, I need somebody to be the innkeeper of this place. And he's like, let's see, we could go with Budgie or Spirit or Puffer. Now, you know what? Let's go with Keepers, because his name is literally Keepers. Or was he like, hey, this is Ratathius, and your new name, Ratathius, is Keepers because you're an innkeeper now, right? Like, I don't know. But what I do know is that Keepers is fantastic, and that's why he's number 1. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching this episode of Pointless Top 10. If you want more Top 10s, we have Taverns. That kind of ties into Innkeepers. Or if you'd rather learn about some odd things, you go watch Pointless Top 10 Odd Things in World of Warcraft. Also, consider supporting the channel on patreon.com/crendor or by becoming a channel member. Okay? Okay. See ya.